Welcome to the best decision you've ever made in your life, e-commerce brand mastery. In this course, I'm gonna show you from A to Z how you can build your own $1 million brand. So who am I? My name is Alexander Chen. I am 20 years old. I've been in e-commerce now for 4 years and I've been mainly focused on this brand which you're seeing in here. The brand is called Brightsport. So you're probably thinking right now, why should we listen to you, Alexander? Well, let's dive right in. So in front of me we have the Shopify Plus dashboard. It looks a bit different than your normal Shopify dashboard, but I took one of our best months last year, which we did $4.5 million in just one single month. Yes, 4.5 million, you heard that correctly. So as you see on here, this is my brand. Brightsport is called. We sell these glowing balls. Feel free to buy a ball if you like, but I am very open with sharing my brand. In our best month last year, we've done almost 100,000 orders in just one single month. I've even brought the products with me, so you're seeing them in here. We have these glowing golf balls, and we have the ball itself right here, our bestseller. So you're probably thinking, how did you end up here? How have you done over $4.5 million in just one single month? So let's start from the very beginning. We're in 2020, I'm 16, I'm broke, and I have a burning desire to get rich quick. So I started to find out about e-commerce, and then the first thing I thought is, what am I gonna sell? As you probably know, in 2020, the first case of COVID were coming up in China, and I saw the opportunity and I took the chance. I went to all the local stores in my hometown and I bought all the mouth masks they had. As you probably know, you couldn't buy the mouth masks anywhere on the internet back then, but I could find them in my local hometown in each of the local stores, so I just bought all the stock they had. So I started to sell these mouth masks on platforms like bol.com, and it started to go very well. I found my very first winner. I'll show it to you right now. I always get a smile looking at these videos. We got the first orders in. Literally, we started just buying the mouth masks from the local stores, had them at our home, just sent them out literally directly to the customers. And as you see, my email was literally blowing up. I got order after order after order. And that particular week, we did 5K in revenue. And back then, you gotta realize, back then it was a lot for me. I was that broke. I've never seen any money, and I made 5K in just one single week. And that's the moment where I fell in love with e-commerce. I saw that I could make more money with just one single product. Maybe I'm a bit spoiled, but my very first product was immediately a winner. And that's the moment where I was hooked. I saw how much money e-commerce could make and I wanted more. So after the mouth mask, I started to hop on hype after hype after hype. The next hype I caught were these at-home fitness bands, and the second hype I caught were these at-home pull-up bars. These started to sell well, but not at the level of the mouth mask. But still, it did get some revenue in. But don't get me wrong, in those months I did have some losers. But I won't dive too deep into it right now. So the biggest thing I realized when I was selling on this platform, which is that I am too dependent on that platform. Literally, bol.com could just throw me off if they didn't like me. And you also gotta realize there's a lot of competition on these marketplaces. The only thing you're competing on is price. So that's why I started to look for other solutions, and I found out that you could also have your own website and could build your own products on there. So I started to do some product research, and I found these balls which are selling very well in the USA. And I saw the opportunity that I could bring them to Europe because soccer ball is very big in Europe, and I saw these could do very well. So I spent months building on the website, getting your samples in, and testing the product, talking with the supplier, and it just didn't hit. Yes, you heard me correctly. In the beginning, it just didn't work. That moment was one of the most depressing moments in my life. I spent months building on that website, and it just didn't hit. So I was in my room, depressed as fuck. I was thinking, what are my next 5 moves? So I started to look at my whole funnel. I started to reassess things. I changed the price on my website. I changed some things in the funnel. I changed some ads. I started to create my own content, and it suddenly started to work. And this is what brought me to my very first orders. As you see in here, I was literally printing the labels at home. So I literally had to pack the orders, put them on my scooter, drive to the postal station and drop them off there. And as you see in here, our very first pallet came in. And honestly, this is still one of the proudest moments in my life. From just buying a couple of balls in stock, literally our first batch was only 10 balls. I literally started to sell the 10 balls. With that money, buy again another 20 balls. Then I started to compound that. And now I realized that I was way too slow and I could have avoided so many mistakes. And these mistakes I'm all gonna share with you in this course, how you can prevent them and how you can do it in a better way. So things started to go better and better, and we did our very first 20K in just one single month. Here's a video of all the Black Friday orders. Literally at my home, it was one big fulfillment center. It was a very big chaos. So I don't really believe in a burnout, but honestly, at that moment, I was close to a burnout. You gotta realize, I was still in high school, I had a lot of test deadlines, and I also had a daily deadline at 7 o'clock, which I vividly still remember, where the packages had to be sent out at that time, otherwise they didn't make it the next day to the customer. So every day was one big chaos in my home, packing orders, one big fulfillment center at home. So here we have more videos. I just love to share these videos because it was just way back where I just fell in love with e-commerce and I just saw how the whole process worked. As you see, all the packages in just my living room, Here we have a video where I'm filling all the boxes, the packages at home, and I just always smile while looking at this video. If you remember your first order, it's one of the best moments ever, but especially building it on your own website and experiencing all that and then getting all these orders and having that belief in that your product's gonna hit and then it hits, it's one of the best moments in your life. So again, I made a lot of mistakes in here. I did learn how the whole process from A to Z worked. I learned how you can import your products from China to you and then literally pack them, ship them, directly to the customer from your own house. But then in 2021, I found out what a fulfillment center was. As you see in this picture in here, I was standing in our fulfillment center where they picked, packed, and shipped our orders. For the people that don't know what a fulfillment center is, it is basically a company that does the whole logistics process for you from A to Z. So that way I could focus more on the marketing and things where I was good at. Things started to go exponentially well. As you see on here, our best day in 2021 was 30K in just one single day. Of course, compared to now, it is not a lot, but still back then it was crazy money for me. You do gotta realize I was still 17 back then. So as you see as well, we were also active on Amazon Germany and we started to sell on there, did our very first 4K day on there. And I'm also gonna show you how we can sell on there later in this course. So here we are in the latest year, we're in 2022. As you see on here, in UK, our best month last year was 1.5 million pounds. If I'm right, that's approximately 1.8, $1.9 million. So, and that's just on only the UK store. And as you see here as well, our very best day was just 300K in just one single day. Literally 10x compared to the last year. So as you see, our growth has been exponential each year. Please don't think that I'm bragging over here, I'm just showing you what is possible. I would see this as inspiration and motivation. I want to show you what is possible if you just commit and do the work. As you see on here, I just showed in the beginning of the lesson in dollars. As you see on here, our best one was 4 million euros. I reached all the goals I put for 2022. That literally gave me confidence to hit them off one by one. And I'm gonna teach you in this course all about goal setting and how to reach them. So this whole course is gonna be packed with value, and believe me when I say this, that you cannot find all of this sauce on YouTube. Because back in the days, I watched every single YouTube tutorial that's out there, and everything that I put in here, you won't find on YouTube, I promise you. I made this course on how I would like a course to be when I was just starting out. I want straight to the point, no bullshit, straight value. I know your attention span is low, so I'll keep it straight and I won't fill up any time. I am literally laying out my whole blueprint from A to Z how you can build your own $1 million brand. So take it seriously and I'll see you in lesson 2. Ciao! So what can you expect in this course? Like I said in the previous lesson, it's gonna be no bullshit, straight to the point value. Back in the days when I was watching YouTube and everything, I didn't find any good courses out there. So I made this course of how I would have wanted to see it back then when I started. So I want to answer the question which I get a lot from everyone and the question is, how much capital do you actually need to start? In my opinion, you need minimum 500 euros or $500 to start, just because you need some room for error. You need to test out creatives, get some samples in. But if you have below 500 euros or $500, I would just first grind with the work you have right now, or just, I think everyone can get 500 euros together in just a couple of weeks. So that shouldn't be an issue. You just gotta realize, the more capital you have, the sooner you see results and the faster you can move. The more you have, the better. But I think minimum 500 euros, $500 is enough to start. So please don't worry about capital. I've done it myself with less than 500 euros. So it's very much possible, especially with the sauce that I'm gonna share in this course, where you don't need much, I'm gonna share secrets where you don't have to start with much risk and don't have to buy stock in the beginning. And you can literally almost start from your own home with almost 0 euros. So I'm gonna share ways in here how you can start almost without risk. So the thing you gotta realize is that we want to have proof of concept first before we pursue a brand. And that's what I'm all gonna teach you guys in here. But please remember to always move quickly. Other people are outspeeding us, they are outpacing us. You don't have time to waste. The biggest mistake I made was working months on the website without seeing any results. You do gotta realize that there's no guarantee that your brand is gonna work. So I'm gonna show you guys all in here how you can move quickly. But please remember, don't waste any time, move quickly. You want to see proof of concept first. So I always say dropshipping and branding is pretty damn easy. The only hard thing is not getting any bans and getting access to your money. I mean it, guys. You don't need any PhD degree to understand this or to learn this. The only thing you need is the right persistence and the right mindsets to succeed. So I want to leave you guys with one last note. If you're gonna watch this course, please put your phone away, put it on airplane mode and focus up, because you're building your future in here. Please take it serious. So before we go over in the course, I want to address this question, which I get a lot. The question I get a lot is, should I build a brand or should I just do general dropshipping? So I'm gonna make everything clear in this lesson. So let's dive right in. So for the people that don't know what dropshipping is, for the very beginners in here, dropshipping is basically that you're a middleman in between the customer and the supplier. That means that you won't see the product anywhere and you're basically just doing the marketing and running the ads, obviously, doing the customer support, and the product directly goes from the supplier to the customer and you don't see it. So you're basically just a middleman. Usually what you see with general dropshipping is that you see very slow shipping and unhappy customers. If you look at the Trustpilot of most dropshippers, dropshipping websites, you'll see it's almost below 0. So, and with building a brand, you have fast shipping and you have happy customers, which are also recurring. Recurring means that they could buy from you a second or third time, which is very, very important. With general dropshipping, we have very low risk. There's almost no start capital needed to start because you only pay for the product when the customer pays for it. So you don't have to buy any stock from it. So it's very low risk. And with building a brand, it's higher risk because you need starting capital for stock, right? For example, what I did in what I showed in my story, I purchased a stock which I had to put money in for, right? And there was a risk that I couldn't sell the stock. So it's a bit of a higher risk. And with general dropshipping, it's much faster because you can literally, in theory, you could launch your store tonight and launch your ads tonight and have sales tomorrow. Obviously, when you're very quick like I am, then you could do it. So it's much faster to start because you don't need to buy any stock, obviously. You could just sell anything you want. With building a brand, it's a bit of a slower start because you usually test out samples, you have to build out a store, you have to put your logo on there, and you can't just start tomorrow. You usually need a bit of a time to start off. So, and the very big con with general dropshipping, which I find, is that you have constant bans on Facebook and payment processors don't want this. You gotta realize, as a dropshipper, most companies like Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, and most payment processors don't want you. Just because the dispute rate is so high and most customers aren't happy. So you're not welcome with most companies. Obviously, when you're doing it well, you could do it, but usually what you see with most dropshippers is that they aren't welcome with most companies. And that's the big problem with building a brand. There's no bans for Facebook and there's less issue with payment processors. So it's much easier to move around when most companies welcome you as a customer. Eventually, you even get an account manager at Meta. So that will help you a lot. So you're probably thinking right now, Alexander, what should I then do? Right now you're naming the pros of dropshipping and now I'm doubting again. What if I told you there's a way to have best of both worlds? Yes guys, it's very much possible. In this course, you're gonna have the pros of dropshipping and the pros of branding. What are the pros of dropshipping? It's that you need very little starting capital to start, you can do it fast, and it's very low risk. And the pros of branding are that you don't have any bans with Facebook, you don't have problems with payment processors, and you have happy customers and returning customers. That's very important. So I call this the hybrid method. I'm gonna explain it all in here, don't worry. You have the pros of dropshipping and the pros of branding. In my opinion, this is the future of e-commerce. So the best thing about branding is that you gotta realize the 10 million exit potential. You're probably thinking right now, 10 million? What the fuck, I have never even seen 1K in my life. Guys, right now it seems impossible, but believe me, it is very much possible. In my opinion, you should start with the hybrid method, which I'm gonna explain in this course. In the hybrid method, you can do everything, have the pros of dropshipping and have the pros of branding, like I said. But if you want to do general dropshipping just to test out quickly, you can build up your first bag, but then you can use it as a stepping stone to build your own brand. After this lesson, we're gonna go into the whole product research and building the fundamentals of your brand. Here's where the magic is gonna happen. So stay tuned for that and I'll see you guys in the next module. Ciao. So welcome to module 2, finding your $1 million brand idea. A lot of people underestimate this part, but in my opinion, it's one of the most important parts in this whole process. Because this is gonna be the fundamental part where you're gonna build your whole brand on. So please take it seriously. In this lesson, you'll be literally watching over my shoulder how I do product research, how I've done product research, and in the end, I'll also go over requirements which I look for when I'm doing product research. And last but not least, I'll go over how you can train your eye to spot winning products and know if there's potential or not. So let's dive right in. The first way to do product research is AliExpress. I think you must know AliExpress, because who hasn't bought something from AliExpress? If you've never seen AliExpress, you've probably been living under a rock. So, but AliExpress is the first way to do product research. It's a great way to find winning products. Because I'm just gonna scroll in here and look up products, maybe I'll see some potential. And yeah, just scroll on there. So I already seen this product come back a lot. Let me save it. I'm seeing the watch straps a lot, which I could save as well, could have a lot of potential. But there are tons of products on here. As you see, I'm already seeing a lot of products which could be brandable. By the way, a side note on clothing. For everyone who wants to start a clothing brand, I know it sounds very cool. I have a clothing brand, people wearing my product, you have your logo on the clothing, and it sounds very cool. I know could be a dream of yours, but just know that the clothing is one of the most competitive industries out there, and it's just much harder to succeed in there because everyone is trying to start a clothing brand. But side note, if you are going to figure the clothing brand out, then it could be a very lucrative market. So just take into account, if you want to start a clothing brand, that it's a bit of a high risk, high reward. But that's just a side note. You could start a clothing brand if you want. But I'm seeing a lot of products on here. As you see, I've seen tons of products. There's a lot of gadgets, blenders I'm seeing, watch straps, a lot of fitness products. So it could be nice, but that's it for AliExpress. I won't dive too deep into AliExpress, but as you see, you can also dive into categories, and you have tons of categories in there which you could just scroll around, but which is very important on another note on product research overall, is please move away from the scarcity mindset. There are tons of products out there, and there's not a scarcity of products. There's abundance of products. There are probably millions, if not billions of products out there which you could brand and has potential in. So AliExpress is a great way. Note it as the first way of doing product research. Now we'll dive in the second way of doing product research. Is your own Facebook feed. You're probably pretty young when you're watching this. I guess there are probably some boomers who are watching this as well. But if you're young, you probably don't have Facebook, you only have Instagram and TikTok. But if you're young and you don't have Facebook, I recommend you to make a Facebook profile for this. Because as you see, I'm on my Facebook feed right now, and you gotta realize that most brands advertise on Facebook. Your competitors are there, and you should take inspiration from them, and you can find winning products on it. So make a Facebook account and start scrolling on there, because you will get some ads. So as you see, I'll just be on my Facebook feed and scrolling through. I'm seeing a lot of memes, random products. Here, I'm getting the first product. Here, we have the first product, could be nice for the summer. They're selling a $35 water rocket, that's what they're saying. Just look at their website, take some inspiration from them, maybe some potential of weaknesses which they don't do, which you could do better. And yeah, this is the first product I found. Just scroll through it, do your product research. Obviously you'll see a lot of bullshit, which is usual on Facebook, but still. Here they're selling a lamp for 120 euros almost, so you gotta imagine the margin on it. But could be nice. I see that they're branding it pretty well. Getting a pop-up. Just go through their website, but as you see, you get a lot of brand inspiration in here and product inspiration. The second product I found, as you see, it's called BlazeSpot. Probably they are selling sports products, and I'm seeing that they are selling it for 400 euros, guys. Realize that they are selling it for such a high ticket price. You gotta imagine the margin on that. And I could even brand this product for Bright Sports. Literally, right now, I'm doing live product research for you guys, and I'm seeing a product I could brand myself and add to my current brand. So you gotta realize how valuable Facebook is. You can find tons of products on there. So next product research method, Facebook ad library. So basically, go to Google, press in these three words, Facebook ad library. Then on the top of the search results, you'll find Meta ad library. So I'll explain it for you guys who don't understand it. So as you see in here, you see an ad library in here. Here you can basically find all the ads that every brand is running out there. If a brand or a page is running ads, you'll find it on here. Why is it so valuable? Basically because you can find everything that's advertising or is being advertised right now. So I'm gonna show you a way how you can literally find any product on here and do product research, because it could be a bit overwhelming when you're seeing it right now. So I'm gonna guide you through it, no worries. So as you see on here, you see search ads. Basically, it's going to be standardly set on your location. You can just put in all in here, all countries, and ad category we can put in like all ads. Basically, you have to put in a keyword in here right now. So I'm going to give you guys a tip on what kind of keywords you can put in there. So My tip would be just put in some random keywords in there which could be used for all kinds of brands. For example, 10% off, 15% off, 20% off, discount, reviews, I'm happy. Let's say you're looking for a certain niche. Let's say I'm looking for sports balls. Then I could look for football. I could look for glowing soccer ball. I could look up any keyword that comes up with you. Please be creative in here. In this example, for example, I'll look up 10% off. 10% off, and as you see, it's loading because it has a lot of results. But as you see, I'm seeing 50,000 plus results. So you gotta imagine how many pages and products I can find on here. So as you see, I'm seeing some clothing, I'm seeing all kinds of random products, but you probably won't scroll through this all, but still, utilize this Facebook ad library, be creative, and it's, in my opinion, one of the most underrated ways to do product research. I have seen tons of people finding winners, finding their $1 million brand idea just by scrolling through Facebook ad library. So that's it for Facebook ad library. Utilize it. It's very, very underrated, and it's no one is talking about this, so utilize it. And now we go over to the final product research method, which is in my opinion my favorite one, and that's TikTok. I think you must have a TikTok account, otherwise you wouldn't have been here. But here you have TikTok, and basically go to your TikTok page, go to your search bar and press in this exact keyword. Hashtag TikTok made me buy it. With this keyword you can basically find tons of products. As you see, I press it in and you'll see that I'm seeing tons of videos with all kinds of products in here. As you see, 3.4 million views and 7.5. This video has a 24 million views with a product in there. As you see, it's a lot of, he's drawing a heart, very funny. But as you see, 100,000 saves, 43,000 comments, 1.1 million likes, realize that. And it's probably all organic. But as you see, it's a lot of gadgets on there. But I mean, my product is sort of also a gadget. So I mean, you could brand it. So just go on there and you'll see tons of products. As I'm seeing a video here which has 110 million views. Let's look at it. Look what he's saying here. 10 useful Amazon products I've bought this year. Do you even realize that he is giving you a list of 10 winning products in here? You guys gotta realize something. There's a reason why these videos have so many views. There is already proof of concept out there. There is some virality to the product, otherwise it wouldn't have gone viral. You gotta realize that. So, in my opinion, product research isn't that hard. Let's look at this video. A seed gap filler. He's literally giving you all the winning products out there. He's literally giving you 10 winning products in one video. Imagine if you put some time into product research and you find tons of winning products. So in my opinion, product research, there's no scarcity in products. Like I said before, there are, if not millions, if not billions of products out there. So just put some time in it and pursue it and take it seriously, because your product, finding a good winning product is going to be the fundamental of everything. So use these 4 product research methods. And right now I'm gonna do some product research myself. Give me a couple of minutes and I'm gonna find a product which we can brand in this course. Basically it took me 10 minutes and I found this portable blender product, which I like a lot. Checking out the video, I saw a lot of potential in these because I mean, it's a great, the target audience is big because portable blenders, I mean, everyone can drink from it, everyone can use it. So the target audience is big and there's a lot of different colors, which could be nice. And I was just scrolling through it and I'll dive deeper into more reasons why I think this product has potential. Second product which I found were these watch straps, these Omega X Swatch, Moon Swatch watch straps, some sort of a watch guy, and I knew that these watches were some sort of hype, and I also found a brand with it, but I'm gonna show later, and that's why I saw so much potential in it. But these 2 products were basically my options. It just took me 10 minutes to find these, both of them, which I see the most potential in to brand. So I also already went into Alibaba. I'll dive deeper, by the way, into finding a supplier on Alibaba, etc. later in this course, but I do want to show it right now already because it's one of the reasons why I thought this product had potential. Because I'm on the Alibaba listing right now. Alibaba, for the people that don't know it, some context, is basically the mother parent company of AliExpress, where you can buy products for cheap in bulk. So AliExpress is more one-on-one, directly to you, and Alibaba is more directly to the manufacturer, and you can buy it bulk from them. So basically I'm on the Alibaba listing right now of these portable blenders, and I can see already that they, let's say if I buy over 20,000 pieces, of course, which is our goal, we can already purchase it for $2.65. Right? So I already know the purchase price is approximately $2-3. I did the same for the watch straps, which I was looking up on Alibaba. I literally pressed in watch straps Omega swatch, and I found a lot of suppliers which are offering this. And here's the same thing. I found suppliers which give me an approximate purchase price of $2-3 again. So that gives me a idea of how much margin there is or room to scale, because I did some basic research. I found, I looked up the product names on Google, and I found 2 example brands. The first one is Blendjet. Blendjet is a portable blender brand. It looks a bit different than the one we just found, but it is pretty damn similar. So as you see, I can go to their product page, and I see that they were selling it for 49 euros, so probably $50. And I can buy the product here on Alibaba, as you see in here, for $2.65. Right? So you can already know, okay, there's a lot of room to scale. There's a lot of margin in there. There's a lot of room for error, a lot of room to spend on marketing. And that's what I already see. And Blendjet, yeah, it looks pretty big, of course, but I already see a lot of things which I could do better, which I would do differently, and I'll dive deeper into that later. But the second brand which I found were these Horus watch straps. I know they are doing it very well, just because I saw their Instagram, which I can dive into right now. The Instagram looks very, very big. Here it is. The Instagram, they have 257k followers, so they are probably pretty damn active. So I found these watch straps on, here we have the Moonswatch collection, which we see in here, and they are selling this for 80 to 90 euros. And I could just, as you saw here on the Alibaba listing, I could buy this for $2, $2-3 maximum. So the margin is pretty damn crazy on this one. So that's why I took these 2 products. But looking at the blenders and the watch straps, I am probably going to go for the blenders, just because the blenders are more evergreen and it's less headache with the sizes and brands. Because you gotta realize, when I am choosing, my thought process behind this choice is with these watch straps. Let's say worst case scenario, the Moonswatches get out of the hype and nobody wants them anymore. Then I'm left with building the whole product page. For example, buying stock, that's also a possibility. So I basically took a big risk. So I'd rather go for more evergreen products, which I like the blender more. Why do I choose for the blender? It's because I went on the Facebook ad library. If I go to the Facebook ad library right now and I press in Blendjet, which I already did, I can see that they are running 210 ads at the moment. So I know with paid advertising, they are doing something right. I mean, there's no possibility that you can run 210 ads without being profitable. So that's the reason why I chose this brand. I see a lot of weaknesses which I can improve on this brand. So we will use this portable blender product as a case study throughout this course. I'm going to show you guys how to make a logo, how to come up with the name, how to make the product packaging, how to get product photos, how to get content, how to make the website, A to Z. I'm going to show you guys everything. One more note on product research before we dive into the last point is, please don't feel limited into these 4 pages of product research which I just showed into here. I showed you the AliExpress product research method. I showed you the Facebook product research method, Facebook ad library, and the TikTok made me buy it. But please, I found my own products from Brightsport, the balls. I found them on Instagram. I mean, don't limit yourself to product research. You could find products everywhere, and I really mean everywhere. You could just look at your home, go look around your desk, look around products which could be done better. Just be creative in there and don't feel limited to only these 4 product research methods. So as a last note, some product requirements which I look at when doing product research. So the first point I look at is high product potential and big target audience. You gotta realize you don't want to be too niche down with your product. Let's say I'm starting a sports brand, which I already have obviously, and let's say I'm selling balls which are like for a very small sport, which is played somewhere in New Zealand or in Africa, and the target audience is only a couple of thousand people who play that sport. Why would I do that? And obviously I'm selling footballs, American footballs, basketballs, etc, etc. And the target audience is just much bigger. My tip to you is don't be too niche down, because if your target audience is just too small, you're not gonna, even if you sell it to each person in that target audience, is just, the potential is just not there. So avoid products which are too niche. I would rather go for, like, for example, the blender, products that can be targeted towards everyone and everyone could potentially buy your product. Of course, there are niches like the woman niche and the man niche. These niches are pretty damn big, so don't worry about that, but I'm talking about very niche down products. Avoid these. Second, which I look at, is high profit margins. You can take as a guidance that your product goes 5 to 10x of your cost of goods. So for example, in Baba, I found that the blenders were costing $2 to $3, and I could sell it for $50. Make sure that the room in between your cost of goods and your selling price is 5 to 10x. Just because you need room to scale, you need room for error, and you need room to spend on ads. So that's a very important note. Third point is bad quality product is a short-term mindset. Just because if you're gonna deliver a bad product, it's not gonna last long. I think I would avoid are products that are too heavy or products that are custom, for example. A lot of times I get the question of people asking me, hey, should I create a custom product with my supplier? That's one thing I would avoid. If you're just starting out, it's just too high of a risk to create a custom product. Just go there where the market already desires something and sell on that desire. That's much more easier. So last but not least, the mindset I want you guys to have when doing product research. In my opinion, this is one of the most important skills you can learn in e-commerce. The mindset I want to teach you is seeing opportunity and envisioning your product being used by people and seeing it worn by people if you're doing clothing, for example, or seeing it used by people when you're selling, for example, balls. And I want to teach you about that mindset, about seeing opportunity in a product. And that's, I think, is a very important one. Also, if you want to hear opinions about your product, you can just drop it in the Discord. Don't be scared about it. Again, don't have a scarcity mindset and ask people about their opinion of the product. Or just ask me or any teacher within the Discord if they can help you and give their opinion on the product. Because it could avoid you a lot of headache if you skip a product which doesn't have much potential and you just rather go for a better product. But please take it with a grain of salt. When I just received the first sample of these soccer balls, which I'm selling right now, which you're seeing in there, of Bright Sport, I showed it to my mother, I showed it to her and she said, who the hell is gonna buy these balls? That's the thing she said. And now I'm doing 300K a day. So, I mean, just take it with a grain of salt and take this seriously. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Ciao.